Hey everyone, this is Brad from the Darksliders podcast. Last week, Doug put up what he called his review of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Well, after putting that up, he played a little bit more and has some updated thoughts and opinions about Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. So this is our Everybody's Gone to the Rapture review part 2.
All right, moving on to the game I kind of played. So last week,
Your makeup review here.
yeah, my makeup review. Yeah. So I guess last week, I had sort of reviewed. Actually, review is not the right word. I played half of Gone to the Rapture and gave my impressions of half of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And actually, as I was uploading the review, I was like, I should probably just finish this game. I think I'm near the end. We'll see what happens. And in my review, I said I was near the end. Turns out that's not the case at all. I was like maybe halfway through. And the yeah.
Nothing like lying to people.
Well, I didn't know. I thought I was. I thought I was near the end. I just wasn't. So I decided to actually like sit down and finish it. And I will say that the part I stopped in is the worst part of that game. Like by far. It's not good. The part I stopped at, you're like a wide open field and it just takes forever to get to the next spot. Anyway, during my review, I guess I sounded kind of down on it. And I kind of want to clear up some misconceptions. I actually really, really like this game. I just don't think that everybody will. So when I'm talking about the game and I'm going, I don't know, as I'm having a hard time recommending it. I personally thought it was amazing. I just don't think a lot of people will find it as amazing as I did. Brad, you actually did. You actually got a chance to play a little bit of this. So, how did you feel? Because it's a hard game to describe. Like, how did you feel about just the fact that that was like you played, I guess, in about a half hour of it, and I told you like this is the
Yeah, I think it was
game.
about a half hour. Based on just that half hour, I'm curious. I had a couple huge complaints with it, and just the speed this game goes at, I do not have the patience for.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, if they came out a month from now and said, "Hey, we patched it, and your walk speed's doubled," I'd probably go buy it right away because
Yeah.
just the first half hour, the way the story's set up, it hooked me into it and got me curious.
Hmm.
But I just wish that it played out slightly faster. And I understand the slow pacing, I think, helps the story along and helps you get more involved in the story because you're trying to figure this out and it's about kind of investigating it on your own.
Yeah.
But it's just there's no faster option, and just when you're walking through a building, I feel like I could like crawl in real life faster than this dude is walking.
Yeah. And that never really goes away. I will say though with the pacing, at the very least, the story does actually like really pick up because I think when you play like in the beginning, like you sort of just get introduced to the characters, you sort of get introduced to um the issues that are going around town, and that's what I talked about in my review. But near the end is when sort of the panic kind of sets in, and you get farther along. When you get farther, the story's kind of disjointed, told out of order. But as you go farther in the game, you actually do get farther in time. And near the end, I'd say like the last half, when the town is actually starting to panic, the story really, really, really picks up. And there's some really, truly like amazing, amazing scenes. And I would say the last two chapters are probably the best part of that game by far. It's again, it's so hard to talk about. I just wanted to basically clear up and say, I actually really did like this game, and the story absolutely it does pay off. The characters pay off. The character stories become more interesting, and all have very very good endings, which I was kind of surprised. I thought with so many characters, it would be kind of hard to wrap up everybody's like individual story, but I think it all wraps up really well. And one thing I forgot to mention is the music is really 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 good. It's almost entirely church choirs, which is not something I'd normally hear in a game. Usually, when I mean church choirs, I mean not in the like church choirs like where like like when they do church choirs in games, it's usually just to show a boss and like make them sound epic. I was like I haven't
Yeah.
I've been hooked on Bloodborne again, so I've been playing that lately. It's not like that, but it's actually like church music, which is really really crazy. And like you'll be walking around and suddenly there'll be like this swell of like a very large choir singing. And at first you're not even sure like if you what you're hearing is like people outside, like I don't know if you're hearing somebody in the street or something, but you realize like, oh no, this is coming through the headphones. And they kind of like slowly push into the choirs, into the music and stuff. They do them at like really really interesting points. I don't know. I think this game is I think this game is incredible. I think I guess we'll come to the same conclusion I did with the first part review. I think that if you like the idea of walking around it and just enjoying a well told story, you're gonna have a good time. And if that's not what you think video games are or should be, or those games don't sort of interest you, that don't even bother. But this was definitely, I think, one of those game changing games where they did something really really different, but for the first time they got a huge budget in order to do it and tell the story like they wanted to tell. And I don't want to say this is like one of the best games you can get for PS4, but it's definitely one of the most unique, and I think that's worth enough for a purchase.
From the little bit I played, I guess just in my mind, I kind of agree with you because after playing it for a half hour, I have no clue how I feel about this game at all. Most games, I feel like after a half hour, an hour, I generally have a good feeling of I'm going to enjoy this or this is terrible and I want it to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, after a half hour, I was like, man, maybe I should keep going. Maybe I don't know if I should. I think you're perfect in saying that this is a game that you really like, but is hard to recommend. I feel like I would really have to know someone in order to recommend this game to them.
Yeah, and that's kind of why my review sounded sort of negative last time, was not because I didn't enjoy it, but just because I don't think that some people would enjoy this game. And not enough to give it like a wholehearted recommendation that
Yeah.
everybody should play it.
Hopefully, that gave you a good idea about what this game is, a little bit more than what we did last week. Of course, you can find us on Twitter at Darksliders_pod or subscribe here on YouTube or SoundCloud. Thanks for listening.